Alright, guys. I got a little theory, so hear me out. Give me a second here. I'm trying to do this off the cuff, as they say. I was sitting there watching TV, and something about Kash Patel testifying against, or to the Senate Judiciary Committee. This guy named John Kennedy was asking him about the files and asking him, what's going on. The people want to know if anybody, who else was in there, if anybody. And he was saying, nobody's in there, or I would have arrested him a day ago. And if y'all wanted more information, you should have looked into him after 2001. He said, everything I have is from 1983 to 2001, basically. And then I was like, well, he never mentioned the house and the island, and what's up with that? And I was like, when did that happen? 2019, that happened. Well, who was the FBI? Who was the director? The director was a Republican. Doesn't mean rogue agents could have collected this information and destroyed it, but could have been the Republicans. In my head, just a theory, allegedly, this is a hypothesis. What I believe, that it's a hoax, because I think they went in 2019. It was under a Republican attorney general. The senator that brought the charges was a Southern District Republican. Look all this stuff up. It'll take you 2 minutes. Donald Trump was the president. If they had this information then, like they allege was in there, like that they used to win 2024, basically, like, why didn't they do anything about it then? Like, yeah, Kash Patel wasn't the director. Dan Bongino wasn't the attorney general, but Donald Trump was the president. So I just believe they held, if they had anything, they're not showing us, or they're blackmailing somebody, whoever's in it, But I think it's probably a hoax, because in my head, it just doesn't make sense why you wouldn't use it to win 2020. Maybe they thought they already had it, but perhaps they wanted Biden to win. If the government is all two sides of the same coin, perhaps they wanted Biden to win so he could push the vaccine and COVID and be the scapegoat. He's just an old man. He's not competent. But yet, he's competent enough to pardon his son and then be like, that's America, or welcome to America, like a OG unk he is. And I think he was the scapegoat. Not to mention Trump created Operation Warp Speed, right? I mean, I could be wrong. I open anybody to tell me how they feel about this stuff. And he never got flagged for that. He never got flagged for Operation Warp Speed. He still thinks it was a great thing, and I won't debate that. But I'll just throw it out there. And feel free to research this stuff if you want. And then, if he was in it, why didn't the Democrats use it? Unless they're all in on it. And now they're telling us that what they seized from the house, there was nothing in it. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it that indicates anybody else. There's real victims from Jeffrey Epstein. Let me make that clear. I'm not discrediting anybody or trying to belittle what they went through with that monster. But as far as anybody else, nobody else is implemented from any of the evidence, which is from 1993 to 2001 that they have from the cases back then, and when they raided Epstein's island in his house. And there's nothing in there besides stuff that they can't release because, they got to protect the victims and stuff. But he said if there was anything in there, I would have arrested somebody yesterday. So either he's lying, or they're all in on it, or there's really nothing in there because they got rid of it between 2001 and 2019. And it was all just something to run on or to keep the ball rolling. If you believe like me that it's all a plan and it's all like to keep people interested in it, like it's some type of, WWE match, and some kind of popularity contest. But and they didn't think people would. I don't think they thought people would, not forget about it. And people aren't going to forget about something like that. But I said something from the beginning, like this could all be one big distraction, one big psyop, if you will, And I'm like, what if there was no, crazy island shenanigans going on? Either there was that stuff going on back in the day, which I believe that was possible, and I believe it was all, gotten rid of long before 2019, and perhaps Jeffrey Epstein was a loose end from all that, and they had to bring these charges and everything to get to him, and who knows, or maybe he knew too much, maybe. Like I said, I'm willing to invite people to prove me wrong, tell me how I'm an idiot, but I want to know, why couldn't it be a hoax like Trump said? But instead of being a Democratic hoax, maybe it's a Republican hoax, maybe it's a bipartisan hoax. It's both hoax. I mean, I never had too much faith in the government, and I think it's up to everybody to go see like who's on the committee, who's in our Senate, like who's all our senator, our House, and just our local states. I haven't really done that, but after thinking about all this stuff, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna start paying attention to who's Republican, who's Democrat, what they're voting on, what they're doing. I mean, why not? Just because I'm not into politics like that, and I don't want to make these political videos, doesn't mean I can't know what's going on in my own, town, country, state, whatever, and the world, because it's important. But I don't think I'll ever talk about this again unless some kind of bombshell comes out, some big revelation, whatever that is. No, that's when you book something. But anyways, I just don't think we'll ever find out the real truth, and I think there's a big chance that it's a hoax. That is one big hoax, or like I said, it did happen, but the whole dozens of names and all that never existed, or got rid of, it got rid of a long time ago. I don't know. You tell me if I'm crazy. Tell me if I am a liberal. Let me know. And take care of yourself. Stay safe. It's crazy. Thanks for watching.